How's it going, everybody? This is my last night up on Mount Hope in my mom's guest room. Um, I I got to get back. I took a week off, and I came up here to take care of some things, and they're all taken care of. Besides, I'm out of scotch. Uh, I wanted to talk a little bit more about my personal experience with Mormonism. Back when I was a teenager and impressionable. Um, my sister became a Mormon uh, because she liked this guy and he was a Mormon, and I think she wanted to be acceptable to him. And that's something she would never do now, but because she's far more down to earth and less concerned with being what everybody wants her to be. She's far more interested in just being herself, and if you can't accept that, take a flying fuck at the moon. And I'm kind of that way too now. But back in the day, back when she was like, I don't know, a sophomore in high school, it was very important to be accepted and have lots of friends. And she was a cheerleader, a wrestlerette, and a Mormon for all of, I don't know, 4 to 6 months, about as long as the Woods of Jordan was supposedly an atheist. Um, and I understand, from this experience, I understand why Jordan feels the way he does about Mormons. How he feels he belongs with these people. Well, that was my sister's feeling, and I liked them too. Actually, I was pretty fond of these Mormons. I liked their how tight knit they were, and it was like one big extended family, and to see parents playing board games with their kids and laughing and enjoying it and good wholesome family fun, and it was infectious. And I wanted to be with those people too. But that wasn't enough, for me. But like I said, my sister got baptized, and she never cracked this book. But I got a copy. This isn't it. That one's in a box somewhere, underlined and dog-eared, and back home in a box. So I picked this up at a thrift store for like, I don't know, I think it was like 50 cents. I know I paid too much. They give these away for free, but that way I don't have to listen to the spiel, which is always the same. It's only there's the script of the elders is always designed to win Christians over, and it doesn't work good on atheists. You always go, what if I showed you something in the Bible? I think in Isaiah, but that shows that a book will come out of the ground. And of course, it's not talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls or the Nag Hammadi documents or something we haven't found yet. No, it's talking about this, which was written on gold plates, and yet it runs on a bit for something that was written on gold. I mean, you would think they could cut out a few, and then it came to passes and wherefores, and tighten up the language a little bit more so that it's more condensed. I mean, the Epic of Gilgamesh was written on clay tablets in cuneiform, and they cut corners. They tried to condense it down. They tried not to waste too many words. And these guys were writing this on gold. Yeah. Anyhow, my sister found out that all that love doesn't last. If you fall out of favor with the Mormons, that love is gone and replaced with opprobrium. They will shun you. They will speak bad of you. At least these people did. And as long as you just don't fall out of their good graces, Jordan, or you're going to be very disappointed. So they would come around, these elders. And the uncanny thing is, see, I mean, we lived on a farm out of town, about, I don't know, 15 miles out of town, and they would drive, I don't know if they borrowed the car or what, and they would drive to see us, and they always did it when our parents were out. They wanted to know if our parents were there. They didn't want to be around when our parents were around, which, didn't occur to me, but that's kind of sneaky, don't you think? No, we just want to talk to the impressionable children so we can, fuck with their minds. We don't need some skeptical adult butting in. Because, all religions like to go after vulnerable people, and children are vulnerable and gullible. You know, if you can get them to believe Santa Claus, you can get them to believe anything. I mean, we're a little old for Santa Claus, but just the same, the desire to fit in. And, we enjoyed the people, and we got to go to their houses and, go to their functions. I went to one guy's house who, he was a funny guy. He was real cool, but he used to be a criminal. He used to steal cars and motorcycles and bicycles and anything else that wasn't tied down. And he said that he was repainting a stolen motorcycle when the elders came, and his life was changed, and he became a decent person because of the words of the prophet Joseph Smith touched his life, and he was cleansed of all guilt. Too bad about all the victims that he ripped off, but I'm glad that he found religion, because that's one less scumbag out there who might steal my stuff. So that's wonderful. But these elders would come around. And I remember my sister had one time she'd gotten a bump on the head. I don't remember what. Maybe it was a cheerleading accident. I don't know. But they wanted to show that even Latter-day Saints do miracles. And so, one of them went in and grabbed some vegetable oil down from the cupboard in the kitchen, and they poured a capful over her head, and while she was kneeling, and they prayed. They put their hands on her head, and they prayed over her, and I remember saying, I was sitting in the living room watching them, and she was saying that she could feel something, and I was thinking, maybe it's that vegetable oil going down the back of your neck, funny thing, And they excommunicated her, what, I don't know, 4 months, 6 months later. I wonder if she's still anointed, or did they erase it? But I used to ask a lot of questions to these guys, why, if Joseph Smith translated this in the 1820s, why did he try to make it sound like Shakespeare wrote it? And why did he fail so miserably at that? I mean, it's ersatz Old English at best. Where are all these coins and steel swords and kingdoms, the ruins of them? Well, they couldn't answer the Old English. I guess God just sounds like Shakespeare. But they did try to say that, well, haven't you heard of the Aztecs and the Mayans? And even in high school, I knew that they weren't very good at smelting. The best they could do is, work with gold and copper and mostly for jewelry. I mean, for cutting implements, they used obsidian glass. And I wanted to know what happened to these gold plates, and I found out that after they got translated, they were given back to Moroni, and he winged them up to heaven again. And they told me to read this book, but to start back here where Jesus does a stopover in North America on his way to heaven, and and sanctifies this testament, this other testament of Jesus Christ, and weeps over children, and very sentimental. He got real weepy after his resurrection, apparently. But my sister never cracked this book. She just was willing to accept it. And she's a Christian to this day, but she's not a Mormon, and she'll never be one. And she probably doesn't want to remember that she ever was one. I mean, I think it would embarrass her. And I'm sorry I had to bring it up, but I'm talking about myself, really. I just can't help but talk about her, too. in this case because I was involved. And I like these people. They never hated on me. They just realized that, I was just never going to become a Mormon. And my sister, you know, she had to go and straighten up her act before she's good enough to be a Latter-day Saint. Because, it, before they fit her for some magic underwear, Anyhow, that's really all I wanted to say about that for now. But just reading this book again has brought it all back. I'm up to like chapter 18 of First Nephi, or 16, I think. I mean, they haven't even built their boat yet. So anyway, more to come. Take care, people, and peace.